In the town of Dharmasthala, a Jain administrator and Hindu Vaishnavite priests work together to run one of the single largest and oldest religious sites in India. And the logistical scale of this daily operation is staggering. Up to 70,000 pilgrims arrive here every day, all fed for free. To pull this massive feat off, the town relies on a highly mechanized mass kitchen and an absolute army of volunteers. This operation is sustained by a collective human willpower that turns impossible challenges into a daily routine. That willpower is most visible on the summit of Ratnagiri Hill. This is Bahubali, a solid granite monolith standing 39 feet tall, weighing 210 tons. To put that scale in perspective, this monument was commissioned and built in the 1970s. The community here didn't have access to modern hydraulic rig cranes, and they certainly didn't have heavy-lift helicopters to drop it into place. So how exactly did a small town carve a 210-ton rock, move it 64 kilometers, and manually stand it upright using only human sweat and mechanical ingenuity? The project started in 1967 with Renjala Gopala Shenoy. He was a third-grade dropout, yet he was the master sculptor entrusted with turning a massive block of raw granite into a flawless giant. For 6 grueling years, Shenoy and his team worked in a quarry in Karkala, shaping the stone block entirely by hand. The physical stakes were terrifying. A single miscalculated strike with a hammer and chisel could crack the rock, instantly destroying 6 years of labor and ruining the 210-ton block. By 1973, Shenoy had achieved a masterpiece of human focus. But getting this massive stone out of the quarry would require a logistical miracle. The transport plan was drawn up by a Mumbai engineering firm. They designed a custom flatbed trolley with 64 wheels to be pulled by 3 250-horsepower tractors, carrying a load that, with its wooden framing, topped 210 tons. But the plan failed almost immediately. This diagram illustrates their first roadblock. On even a slight incline, the downward pull of gravity overwhelmingly defeated the forward pulling force of the tractors. They tried placing wooden planks under the tires. They even brought in teams of elephants to pull. Nothing worked. The project was saved by an anonymous postcard. The writer suggested greasing the tires with inflammable ash. As you can see in the updated diagram, introducing that layer of ash beneath the tires changed the traction enough for the tractor's forward momentum to finally overcome the incline. With the trolley finally moving, the transport became a 23-day, 64-kilometer carnival, crawling through towns where cheering crowds lined the streets. Along the route, they faced 5 river crossings. Standard bridges would have collapsed under the weight, so the town's administrator partnered with the military. They rapidly constructed temporary, reusable steel truss bridges, designed specifically to hold the 200-plus-ton load, and dismantled them right after crossing. Human ingenuity and collaboration had successfully conquered the horizontal distance, but gravity was waiting for them at the finish line. On December 25, 1975, the statue arrived at the base of Ratnagiri Hill. Now they had to lift it completely upright. First came the precise positioning. Engineers laid down actual steel railway tracks to slide the massive block exactly to its designated erection spot. To manage the lift, the statue was protected in hay and framed in thick iron scaffolding. This mechanical diagram illustrates their lifting setup. The scaffolding was attached to a series of pulleys and tension lines, all connected to 2 massive manual winches, turned by highly coordinated teams. The risk becomes clear when you look at the stress loads on the tension lines. If a single rope snapped or a winch failed under the 210-ton weight, the statue would crash to the ground and shatter. To prevent that, they engineered a manual fail-safe system. As the rectangular mass slowly tilted upward, laborers quickly slid metal pillars of increasing heights underneath. At every new angle, a taller pillar caught the weight, bracing the statue in case the ropes gave way. Over 2 grueling days, they slowly cranked the statue past 50 degrees, and finally to 90 degrees. They safely completed an engineering feat that modern construction crews would only attempt with massive hydraulic rigs. Today, the completed Bahubali stands perfectly vertical on its 14-foot platform, completely untouched by modern heavy machinery. Its creation required Tamil sculptors, Mumbai engineers, the Indian military, and thousands of local laborers working in unison. It is a direct reflection of Dharmasthala's own ethos of radical inclusion and cooperation. The town relies on ultra-modern, highly mechanized systems to sustain its massive daily operations, but this monument was raised using ancient, machineless methods. Dharmasthala's 210-ton giant stands as physical proof that when a community aligns its efforts, there is no logistical hurdle, whether it's feeding 70,000 people or moving a mountain, that cannot be overcome.